Welcome to our service today. We continue the new year, continue such an interesting study, the Gospel of John. Boy, there's no better spiritual exercise to start the new year with than to read through the Gospel of John. I've got little pocket-sized editions of that Gospel on the counters in Leaf Church. So if you would like one, take 1, 2, 3, as many as you like. And when you get a chance, just flip through the chapter. Today we're going to continue getting into chapter 2. Some very, very interesting accounts in the life of Christ. We'll change the subject a little bit. Have you ever listened to the radio, listened to a particular personality, but not known what that individual looks like? I remember when Garrison Keillor first came on the radio. I didn't have any idea what he looked like, but because he was not all that well known. But in my mind, I sure had an image of him. And then when I saw his picture, it was a real shock because it was totally different than what I had imagined. But I couldn't say, well, Garrison Keillor, you can't look like that. That's not the way I imagined. No, he's not going to change. I've got to change according to the reality of who he is. It's kind of interesting, but people do that a lot with God, don't they? They have their own idea of what God should be like and how God should act. And then kind of comes out when they say things like, well, if God really loved me, he wouldn't let this kind of thing happen to me. Or I just don't understand why these things that I want to happen aren't happening to me. And we tend to package God, or you make him into a Play-Doh type of substance that will fit according to what we think he should be like. Well, today's account in John, it shatters that perception. It shows us that Jesus doesn't fit any human stereotype. We're going to see him at a wedding, and we're going to see him at a temple. And at the wedding, we're going to say, oh, I like this Jesus, he's great. And when we see him at the temple, we're going to say, oh. Jesus is not predictable. But if he was predictable, if we could control him, he couldn't do us any good, could he? Then he'd be just like us. Don't let him make him try to fit a stereotype. Let Jesus be Jesus, because that's when he really changes our lives. We'll begin with our first hymn. It's number 90, beautiful hymn for the Epiphany season, The People That in Darkness.